Hi, everybody. Welcome to a very special edition of Podium Picks. Sean Woodland and Tommy Marquez inside the Whoop studios here. We're going to be drafting famous teachers with probably the most famous, the man they call the Professor, Brent Fikowski. We'll introduce him in a second. I'm excited about this draft. How are the Whoop numbers looking, Tommy? Are you physically prepared for this?
I'm about as prepared as I've been in the last week, considering I've been in Vegas and I got a 1% on my Whoop score on Sunday. I'm, 90% recovered, 95% sleep performance. I'm ready to go.
You're much better than me. I'm back in the yellow. I had a solid day in the green, 85. Now I'm back down to the yellow, 41%, 4.5 hours of sleep. So I think I have enough though. I think I have done my work here to get through this draft effectively.
Yep.
If you guys want to check out Whoop, go to whoop.com. It's WHOOP.com. Use the code TALKING15 and you will save 15% and optimize the way you train and recover. And just go to their website and check out all the great resources that they have, because there's a lot of good stuff on there about how to improve your sleep, how to improve your recovery, some little habits you can incorporate into your daily lives that will help you get that done. So go to whoop.com, WHOOP.com, get yourself the Whoop Strap 3.0 and use the code TALKING15 to save 15%. Also want to tell you about a special offer that we have from our good friends at Gillette, calling all CrossFit athletes. So pay attention. Competition is getting harder, but Sweat Pride is for everybody. You got to smell good and enjoy a buy one, get one free stick of Gillette Invisible Solid Deodorant from your favorite retailer to celebrate the road to the CrossFit Games. And Tommy, it could not be simpler for the people to get this done.
Exactly. You go to our link in our bio at Talking Elite Fitness on Instagram. You click that link at the top. You'll see a link in our link tree for buy one, get one free from Gillette. It'll take you to a landing page. You can pick your favorite retailer where you want to go. It'll drop you right to the product. Their go-to antiperspirant, their Invisible Solid. You'll be able to add that and clip the coupon and add 2 to your cart, and you'll get one for free. Just because Sean is going to be sweating his podium picks here in just a second doesn't mean he has to smell bad.
That's a good point.
That's because he gets buy one, get one free at Gillette. So, if you want to get through the next podium picks, nice and cool, calm and collective, smelling good.
I'm confident about this one.
Be sure to hit that BOGO. Everyone loves one.
Thanks to Gillette. Thanks to Whoop. And thanks to our guest for today, Brent Fikowski, joining us, the man they call the Professor. I feel like this is an appropriate subject for Brent. Brent, how you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. How are you guys doing?
We're doing wonderfully. So here's what we're doing today. We're gonna do a 5-round snake draft of famous teachers. Now I think the first thing we need to do is we need to qualify what a teacher is. This is not just someone who, I feel like this is anyone in sort of a mentor capacity. We can agree on that?
Yeah, okay. I would agree. That's the best general way without providing too much direction.
Yes.
If you were tasked with teaching someone something in some capacity and a mentor type role, I think that's fair game, in a variety of different avenues.
Yes.
So
Understood. Okay. Now, Brent, the way this works is since you're the guest, we let you determine where you want to pick. Now, if you pick first, keep in mind that this is a snake draft, so it will go second, third, then third, second, first. But then you'll get back-to-back picks that second time around. So just keep that in mind. Did not pay off for me last week when I picked first. So we will let you.
You get to pick your placement.
Pick your placement.
I'll go with 2.
Ooh, see, that's a second. Oh man. Okay. So Brent's going second. Now you and I will flip the official coin here.
The coin.
And I get to call this time.
Yes, you do.
I'm going heads.
It is heads.
I'm going to go first. I'm going first. All right. So I'll go first. Brent will go second. Tommy, you get the back-to-back picks.
I get the wraparound
to go third.
Yep.
So we'll go through 3 rounds, and then we will take a quick break. We'll do our Whoop podium because we got to get to the Whoop podium. See I don't know what we're doing this week.
I think we're going to go hours of sleep.
I will not be on that Whoop podium.
Who hibernated last night?
All right. So I will kick things off. Brent, do you have any last-minute questions before we get the festivities underway here?
Yeah. So I understand how a snake draft works. Other than that, I don't know anything about how this works. I have listened to your podcast, but never the Podium Picks podcast. So treat me like an idiot.
Yes. So what will happen is we'll each basically build our 5 teacher teams. And when we're done with this, we're going to make a post on social media. Got like a nice little graphic that includes the topic as well as all of our respective teams. And then our fan base will vote in the comment section of that post for who they want to win. And then the following week on the episode of Podium Picks, we'll announce the winner. So in true fashion, last week we did Benchmark Wads as our draft alongside Annie Sakamoto. And I'm happy to report that yours truly,
there you go,
got back in the win column. I was dragging. Sean and our guests had won 4 straight. You know, it was a revenge game. It was a get right game. I came out strong. I was firing all cylinders, and I took home 61% of the vote.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
You know, I left that draft going, Tommy won.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I said, sometimes you just get beat by a better team, and you were the best, the best drafter that we had last week, and well deserved. Well,
thank you.
Good to see you back in the win column, my friend.
I had to get that one. That one had to, get the confidence back.
That was good. Okay, so we'll kick this thing off, and I'm going to go first. And in my mind, there's a clear number one here, and that is Jedi Master Yoda. He's going to be number one. I don't think there is any other way I could have gone with this. I mean, I have some other, pretty, I think, valuable and pretty good picks on my board here. But when I laid it all out, when I talked to the scouts and, looked at the evaluation, he was the Trevor Lawrence of this draft, clear number one.
Yep.
I mean, how many times have you heard someone be compared to, he's the Master Yoda of this, or she's the Master Yoda of that, or she's like Yoda to her? Everyone has a Yoda. And I mean, Yoda said great things like, do or do not. There is no try. He lifted an X-Wing out of swamp. One of the best introduced characters in Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back when he shows up. And he's pulling that, he's got that lamp thing and hitting mine. Love Yoda. Love the Zen of Yoda. Baby Yoda. We got a baby Yoda now.
Yeah, Grogu.
So yeah, I'm going to lead this thing off with Yoda.
Yeah, keeping it right down the fairway, and I mean, you smashed a drive on the first tee. I can't argue with that pick. Also, one of the best scenes that redeemed, I thought, the early trilogies is when Yoda is like walks up and they're in a battle, and you're like, "Are we going to see Yoda fight right here?" He goes and just starts flipping
Yoda
all over the place,
yeah.
And you're like, "Oh my god!" And then he goes back and like grabs his cane and like
just hobbles off.
Yeah. Like, all right, that was pretty cool.
That was good stuff. Yeah. So Yoda is
1-1,
just the best. He's the clear number one pick, and I was worried if I didn't go first, I wasn't going to get him. So I had to jump up to that first pick and take him. And now I got to wait my turn and see who comes off the board here. As Brent, you are now up.
Man, okay. So I feel like if we have the time here, I want to read my text message here from Mr. Sean Woodland, because I feel like he bamboozled me.
How did I bamboozle you?
Well, okay. So
I feel like I was very honest here.
Well, all right. Let me just maybe it was my interpretation of the Podium Picks. Blah, blah, blah. All right, we're setting up the time. Pleasantries. How's the wife and kids? Blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Ooh,
So I wrote. Maybe there was a bit of miscommunication here, because I go. So I say my what I thought I said was, I was like, oh, should I like do some research for this? And you go, oh no, it's really hard to look stupid next to me and Tommy,
which is a fact.
I was like, that's really funny. So I was left with the impression that like, oh, you're going to have a list of like teachers that I got to choose from. I don't like come in with my like little secret list. So I didn't do any research.
That's okay. So we'll get on the internet right now.
So I am on the, so just I guess I hate when people,
we don't have time limit.
We don't have time.
I don't like when people create excuses before they lose. I hate that. Like, oh, my shoulder. It's like, no, like, but I just,
Brent,
I felt misled.
That being the athlete here, you're already ahead of the game.
Yep.
People love the guest. So
all right. That is true. Well, hopefully. So mine is, I don't know, like this is, to me, when I think of great teachers, I think of Mrs. Frizzle from the Magic School Bus. So that's my pick. I mean, I grew up, I guess that would have been elementary school.
Yeah.
And, we'd watch the Magic School Bus, and she'd take the kids on an adventure in the Magic School Bus, and they'd shrink down to the size of an atom, and they'd learn about, the inside of the body or whatever. And she was, she was spunky. She was fun. She reminded me of a teacher I had in grade 1, female teacher with an also unique last name, Unger Pengelly. Yeah, so she was spunky too, and was a lot of fun, and took us on field trips and stuff. And so not inside the human body that at least I remember. But yeah, so I think Mrs. Frizzle, yeah, I think it's just like the quintessential like great childhood teacher. So there we go. That's one.
That was gonna be my pick.
Was it? See, I'm dating myself. Never heard of her.
I was gonna choose Professor Valerie Frizzle, PhD, because in the later episodes, she leaves for a research position and hands off the teacherhood to her younger sister. The Frizz, as she's often known, also and I'm totally like pitching Brent's pick here, but her dress in every episode represented the topic they were talking about. So she wore the topic on her sleeve. Literally, and also highly underrated. How many crazy adventures did they go on? Didn't lose a single kid.
That's not bad.
In today's day and age,
more than they can say for Hogwarts.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to talk about an abhorrent safety record? Hogwarts. My God.
Oh,
kids
man.
dropping like flies there.
Nobody stopped to question why.
I know, exactly. Okay, so Tommy, you are up now. You get back-to-back picks. So you get the first round and then to start the second round.
Okay. I've got a couple ones I'm trying to balance here.
Okay.
All right. So I am going to start with, so you went what I would consider kind of kung fu, martial arts, physical training. Brent went educational. I think I'm going to stick with that level of training, and I'm going to go with Mr. Miyagi.
Nice. That's a good one.
The teacher of the Karate Kid. If you think about, it's hard to imagine outside of maybe Yoda and one other pick that I won't discuss. Think about the quintessential kind of like kung fu martial arts training. I mean, the Karate. I mean, it's even more relevant now because you have Cobra Kai coming back, and Mr. Miyagi is just quintessential. Lessons, hard work, training, elevating a young man to believe in himself. I mean, who didn't train the crane? The crane kick in their living room.
If done right, no can defend.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man, I mean, there's so many different kung fu tropes that have been built around Mr. Miyagi since then.
I mean, he doesn't know wax on, wax
off. I mean, that was actually included in another pick that I'm thinking of in a movie that was also important. So yeah, Mr. Miyagi, I'm getting last pick in the first round. Happy to get it.
I'm getting solid pick.
Great value there. All right. Now I'm going to go educational here. And I talked about this one with my hopefully soon to be betrothed, my beloved. This is another like childhood one that you grew up with.
Okay.
There is a show that spanned the 90s that was live action. It was known Boy Meets World. And there was a teacher named Mr. Feeney that not only was he their teacher and their leader, their educational leader in grade school, but he aged up and switched to high school with them.
Nice.
Because lazy writing, right? You can't write this character off. You just got to keep him. Mr. Feeney, the Fiendster, also happened to be the neighbor, somehow always popping into the house, helped guide Mr. Matthews, Corey Matthews, his eventual love Topanga, his from the less fortunate family buddy, Sean, helped guide all of them through their adolescence. Mr. Feeney, getting him in the second round. Happy to do it. He's filled all the educational roles from teacher to principal.
All right.
You name it.
That's a solid pick.
Boy Meets World,
well done.
Classic.
Okay. Now that brings us back to you, Brent, for your second pick.
All right. I've been furiously scanning the internet. Got three screens going on here.
There we go.
Matrix,
now
you
we're
should
talking.
see it.
Like Minority Report.
And this one popped out it's an obvious pick, as my nickname is the Professor, and I'm going with Professor X.
I thought I might get that one coming back.
It's a good pick. It's quite frankly a great pick.
It is a great pick.
I I love him in the. I have some comics, and I read some X-Men comics as a kid. I can't say I've read more Ninja Turtle comics, but I did read a few X-Men comics. But the portrayal of I can see him in my head, the bald guy in the movies. I can't remember.
I know what you're talking about. Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart, yeah.
Patrick Stewart. You know, the demeanor that he had towards his student, very, you know, he has that kind of way of getting you to say the answer. You know what I mean? Where you'd have like, oh, you know, I'm really upset. It's like, well, why do you think you're upset? You know, as opposed to being like, it's because your dad died. You know, you know, or whatever. Right? He's like, well, you know, all lessons, you know, with all troubles have a lesson. He's got that kind of, you know, like Yoda-esque, but not so like backwards speaking. And yeah, I mean, like, yeah, just his portrayal, and even, you know, how he's just always so, he has this like moral compass that he, you know, sticks to, and in a morally ambiguous kind of universe that the X-Men always have to deal with. He's on the straight and narrow, and he guides those students as best he can to, you know, to fit into, you know, where they should go. And yeah, even when he hates someone at times, Magneto, he's just like, you know, he just leads by example, super intelligent. And yeah, I mean, he's the Professor X, probably the most famous professor. And I don't know, I think, you know, he'd be the kind of guy, not to mention if you had him as a teacher, it also means, you know, you have superpowers.
You're walking the walls, so you can turn into metal.
Yeah, so it's like if you were to make a list of teachers you would want, you kind of put that up there because you go, well, then obviously I'm gonna, you know, if I get that, then that also means I have superpowers. Hopefully,
fly around in a jet and fight evil. Standard things that you do, extracurricular activities when you're in high school. That's a good pick, and I don't think they could have gotten anybody else than Patrick Stewart to play that role.
Oh my gosh,
no,
Patrick Stewart. Yeah, great. Okay, you're getting the hang of this.
Yeah,
getting the hang of this.
Two solid picks. Okay, that brings us to me, and I get my back-to-back picks. And I think this week my gamble may have paid off. So the first one I'm going to take is
I have an idea.
I'm going to the education realm, but didn't stay there long. Became a total gangster in one of the greatest TV shows of all time. And I'm going to go with Walter White from Breaking Bad. I love that character. Man, now I can't think of the
also known as Heisenberg.
You know, who's the actor?
Bryan Cranston.
Bryan Cranston. Yeah, it was unbelievably good. And that's just, we're done when I say we're done. I mean, just the journey that character goes on, and the fact that you sympathize with the guy who's, you know, just trying to make some money for his family, and then gets involved in this world of crime and murder, and
starts to do it for himself.
Starts to do it for himself, starts to cross over to the dark side a little bit, but just one of the best TV characters of all time. And I remember I didn't watch that show when it first came on, but I heard so much good stuff about it. And then it was one of those times where I needed something to watch. I was like, all right, take a flyer on it. Hooked immediately. Such a good show.
The final 2 seasons of that are some of my favorite television ever. Like,
it was so good.
Oh man,
that was a show that never jumped the shark.
Yep.
Yeah. So all right. So Walter White.
I had him on under miscellaneous. He was on
miscellaneous.
Yep.
Okay. Now I got to come back with something, and I feel like my board's wide open. And now it's more about, I'm trying to think what you guys are going to do. Okay. So let's see what I got here. I've done. Okay. All right. I'm going to go now. I'm going to go more comic relief here.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to go to a little town in Colorado. Mr. Garrison.
Oh, nice.
You know what I'm picking? He had Mr. Hat. He has been one of the great. He's been the president.
He's been Mrs. Garrison.
He's been Mrs. Garrison. He's been
Mr. Garrison again.
Yeah, Mr. Garrison again. He had another sidekick, you know, Mr. Slave. He had him.
Slave.
I mean, Mr. Garrison. And then just like the lessons that they come in and he's teaching the kids. It's like some weird, just off the wall thing that they're talking about. You know, you go to hell, you die. That's Mr. Hat. Mr. Garrison has provided me with hours of entertainment and laughter, and I believe the world is a better place with Mr. Garrison in it.
Oh, he is. I had him on my list. He was probably going to be one of my next 2 picks. He has some of my favorite quotes of all time that are just completely offensive, and like if I had to pick the three main protagonists of South Park, it's Eric Cartman, Mr. Garrison, and Stan Marsh.
Okay, I would have picked Stan's dad.
Randy Marsh.
Yes,
yeah,
okay.
that's what I meant to say.
Yeah, Randy. Yeah, that's what I assumed.
I think they're like the three people that drive that show forward.
Mhm.
And it's weird because Mr. Garrison is this. He is, all the different, like, because everything's a parody, right? It's all pop culture. He is like the parody of what I think like the core zeitgeist of the world is at that time. Whatever the central figure is.
That's a really good observation.
He is that dialed up to 11 to the point where like there's an element of ridiculousness to it. But yeah, so I love that pick. He's definitely on my list.
So here's what we'll do. We'll go to Brent's third, and then you'll finish the third round. We'll do the podium, and then we'll go back for round 4. So Brent, you are now up with your third pick.
Yeah, so it's interesting. As you get going, there becomes a fear of what you guys will do. Right? Because I could pick 3 more for sure right now. I'm pretty confident. I've got 3 solid ones here, but I know one of them won't last. I'm wondering, like part of it is you got to play to the crowd.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. And so like I have one that like if it was up to me personally, I'd probably pick that one right now. But I'm thinking it's a sleeper pick. I'm not sure if either of you will pick it, but because of that, I'm going, well, is anyone going to care? But the people that do care, they're going to know, right? Oh man. What an emotional journey I just went on. All right. I'm going to go with, okay, what do I have already? I've got Professor X
and Mrs.
Frizzle. Gosh, such a strong start. Really potential here for greatness. Now, do I go with, I'm going with Dumbledore.
Oh, nice call.
Yeah,
that's what I thought you were going to go. Yep.
It's a bit of a Wonder Bread pick. It's kind of right down the middle. It's an underhand throw. I'm kind of like hitting the, I mean, with that and Professor X, it's like, I couldn't, if there was a teacher that was applicable in like Lord of the Rings, I wouldn't do that because it gets a little too obvious that I'm just hitting all these like, trilogy genre kind of head to state type vibe. But I mean, Dumbledore, again, like, just a great leader. Did a lot of kids die under his tutelage? Of course.
Of course. I mean, who hasn't that happened to?
Just in troves, like just so many that more, but just a great, I mean, the quintessential like teacher principal vibe. Really.
Man.
I mean, I don't understand how parents could continually send their children back to that school.
Could you imagine like what, like there's like the day where they go back on the train and everybody shows up. The parents are all waiting there, and it's like, wait, where's Timmy?
Yeah. The giant snake ate him.
Oh, sorry.
Just wandered off and
sorry, Miss Muggle. We regret to inform you that.
My goodness, how did that place stay in business? Unbelievable.
Oh, yeah. So there's just been this gigantic snake underneath our school this entire time.
No.
Yeah.
For like just ever kind of.
Yeah.
And like the Harry Potter one's tough because there's obviously a lot of teachers there. So I'm kind of casting a bit of a broad net. I could have went for a more kind of specific pick in there, right? There's always that option. But if I go with Dumbledore, then if any of you guys choose any other Harry Potter character, you've failed.
Yeah.
Mine trumps yours.
No, this is a good block. It was a very good block.
It's a block, right?
It's a very aggressive move and some defense.
If I went for a lesser known character who maybe had some more kind of, like sentimental qualities, then one of you could have picked Dumbledore, and then I'm a chump.
Yep. We're just coming right over the top.
Yep. All right.
Yeah. All right. So that's it.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a really good pick. I mean, especially for the third round.
Yeah.
Good value there. All right. You're up. Now you're going to so you'll do your third pick and then we'll do our Whoop podium.
Yeah. So here's where I'm torn. I pretty much have the rest of my draft laid out. I know what I want. But in this slot, I need a real life. I'm torn between a real life educator and a fictional educator.
Okay.
Because there's one I have learned a ton from, and it's still relevant. There's another one that I think, from just a pure magic standpoint, I think was phenomenal. This is going to be the hinge.
You got back-to-back picks here. So.
Yep. because I know what I want to fill my other draft. I've already typed it in. It's what I want. I'm picking John Keating from the
that's a good one.
Dead Poets
That's
Society.
a really good
Robin
one.
Williams' character.
Absolutely. Captain, my captain.
Oh, Captain, my captain. You know, I think he captures the essence of what it means to be a selfless teacher, right? He tries to instill in these young men a sense of individuality and a willingness to do what is true to yourself. And even in the end, still get screwed, but it doesn't matter. He knows he's getting screwed.
Yep.
And there's some tragedy, obviously, if you haven't seen the movie. You know, one of the kids that he really pushes to inspire ultimately, doesn't make it.
Yep.
But I think that character, I think, was what made people take Robin Williams seriously as an emotionally invested character and actor in Hollywood. It won Dead Poets Society won an Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay. He was nominated for Best Actor, all sorts of stuff. I think the general outline for him as a character also played into another character of his that could have been picked here.
Oh yeah, okay.
And I think the importance of taking Robin Williams, rest in peace, his character in this one is what set the table for that role going forward. So Dead Poets Society, phenomenal movie. If you haven't, came out when I was 3. I made sure I went back and watched it because I heard so much about it.
Wow.
1989, phenomenal movie. I think some of the lessons there are still relevant today. This may not win me the vote, but I couldn't live with myself. I didn't.
What was cool about that movie is that I had one of my favorite teachers that year in high school, and reminded me a lot of John Keating. And he's passed away since. His name was Wayne Jerry. He was my AP English teacher. My sophomore year. Guy was awesome. So yeah, that's a really good pick. Okay, let's get into our Whoop podium.
Okay.
So we're going to do hours of sleep now. Is this for the week or the month?
I'm just doing today.
Oh, just for the day. Okay.
Yep.
So we're going to do hours of sleep for today, which is Cinco de Mayo, May 5th.
Yep. Cinco de Mayo. These are the people that maybe got ready to have a good time on Cinco de Mayo by making sure they got all the sleep possible for Whoop today. So our top 10 in terms of hours of sleep. Number 1, Terrell Roberts, 9 hours and 55 minutes of sleep.
How was that possible?
Number 2, Violet Meekum, 9 hours and 54 minutes of sleep. Violet has been at the top of this before. Number 3, Jesse Hickey, 9 hours and 54 minutes of sleep. Number 4, Angela McLeod, 9:31. Stephanie Kristoff, 9:31. Brian Lee, 9:27. Veronica Rodriguez, 9:26. Jen Morrow, 9:22. Angela Stevens, 9:21. And Emily Kramer rounds out our top 10 with 9 hours and 15 minutes of sleep. Everybody absolutely crushing the sleep game. I got 8:03, Sean. What'd you get? It's like 4 hours.
I've had 4.5 hours.
Oof.
So
Brent, you seem like a guy that gets good sleep.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I tend to sleep quite a bit. I try and stay in bed for 9 to 10 hours every night.
There you go.
Yeah.
God bless you. Those were the days. I remember that.
Sean is just fulfilling the archetypal, like back in my day.
Back in my day, I used
to bench 450.
I used to bench 450 and sleep 12 hours without waking up once. Okay, Tommy, you are up now to kick off round 4.
All right. So I'm happy with my pick, an educator that I think encapsulates what we want from a teacher in the educational realm. Now, this man embodies for me, and I have a personal tie to him, of what you want from an educator in the athletic realm. And there's only one coach in the history of the NBA with 11 titles, known as the Zen Master himself, because he will teach you something about philosophy on the side. And that is Phil Jackson.
All right. I like that. That's a good pick.
Led 2 of the greatest basketball dynasties in the history of sports. The 90s Bulls, 6 titles, two sets of 3 straight. 2000s Lakers, Shaq, Kobe. If you haven't seen The Last Dance, you get a decent glimpse at Phil as a human being too. He's the only guy that could have tackled the personalities on that team and simultaneously had deep conversations with a cranked out Dennis Rodman. And there's a reason why you know, the picture of him, one of the best photos ever, when he's holding all of his rings and he's sitting there and he's got a double one on the thumb. You're like, oh yeah, this guy's a G.
Yeah. It's too bad that he never had any good players to work with though, right?
Hey, you know, other super teams have tried and
that is
failed.
a good point. He absolutely deserves to be on that list. That's a really good pick.
Yep. I like Phil Jackson.
The Zen Master. Okay, Brent, it is now your fourth pick.
Man. So yeah, that opens up. I've, again, due to my poor research, and I feel as though I was.
I think you're doing great.
Yeah,
I'm doing good. So now, what I'm saying is, athletic coach. All of a sudden, my mind goes like, "Oh, that's like a total different realm that I hadn't." And so there are picks in that realm that personally speak to me that are, it's not like, I would pick my old volleyball coach, for example, but that's not really going to cut it here. Sorry, Art. But not to mention a lot of swimming coaches. But yeah, it makes me think. Yeah, I mean that's kind of your coach's pick there. Not that I got anything against him, but I don't know. He's wouldn't be my. Oh man, I'm just don't want to.
Thought going.
All right. I'm going to go with, so what do I got right now? I got Professor X.
Miss Frizzle,
and Albus Dumbledore.
Dumbledore.
You got a solid start in 3.
Yeah, I do. Frizzle and Dumbledore. So I got 2 serious characters in there, Dumbledore and Professor X. Miss Frizzle's, more childish. We got cartoon.
All 3 have some sort of magic surrounding them.
This is also true. Well, every good teacher is, not,
magic of learning.
Yeah, the magic of learning. Brent, come on. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do. Brent, come on. No one wants to listen to me.
Great.
No one wants to listen to me go.
Oh no! I think people are enjoying watching
Yes,
this. Yeah,
good stuff.
It's like I wish there was like what's those like reality TV shows where they go into the booth and they just get to talk about their feelings. They basically just pad out the exposition. It's like exposition for the and so it'd be like that. It's like, what's going on in Brent's brain? But we're gonna go with Dewey Finn from School of Rock.
Oh, School of Rock, yeah.
Oh, Dewey, right?
Yeah, Dewey Finn. Yeah. So Jack Black plays Dewey Finn. So obviously the name, you obviously if you just had Dewey Finn, I'd lose for sure. But I mean, he was a great teacher, and there was this coming of he learned from the students.
That's yes.
That was the I haven't had one of those yet. These other 3 that I have are very much kind of like an almost omnipresent kind of, they're coming in with all the knowledge and just instilling it, and then Dewey Finn learns to love being a teacher. He goes through the journey himself and learns that that's his calling more so than being a rock star. That the gift of being a teacher is greater than, being successful yourself. And he learns that. And so, and just the movie's great.
Cool.
Great flick.
Yeah. One of his breakout roles. And the movie in general was really good. And his character's awesome. But yeah, I think the kind of coming of age, I'm not sure if anyone else has yet picked anyone that has that journey themselves as opposed to just kind of omnipresent. Yeah. So hopefully the folks watching at home or listening or just looking at the Instagram post will understand the breadth of my field.
I think that's, and I feel like if you're going to vote, you should listen to the show.
Yeah,
what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you would hope so.
Pretty much I think most people who vote listen, pretty much all of them listen to the show. And it was an interesting pick because it's a very cornered market of music.
I know.
Right?
I know.
It's a good establishment. I think that's like the leader there's only one other guy I had on my list besides him that it covers that area. So, but I think it's too in the weeds a little bit. But
all right, so that brings it to me, and I get to close this thing out. I get my 4th and my 5th pick, so I know where I'm going with my 4th one. I am not sure about my final one.
All right,
my 4th one, I'm going to wander into the world of sports as well.
Yeah.
And this character sort of became like the archetype for all kind of mentors. He was the mentor before Yoda was a mentor. I mean, this goes way back to the 70s. And one of the greatest movie franchises of all time.
Ooh.
And I'm going to take Mickey from the Rocky movies.
Oh,
who didn't, spoiler alert, who didn't cry when Mickey died in Rocky 3.
Yep.
And you see, and Rocky's there like yelling, and it's Sylvester Stallone is just bawling his eyes. Oh, gets me now. But Mickey was fantastic. So good that we even had one of our own at CrossFit, Joe Novello, play a Mickey type character in a Roe versus Boz promo. Where he had the hat, he got to slap Roe. Mickey's fantastic, man. He'll knock you into the Rock.
There's even a Lipton Brisk iced tea commercial.
That's right. And they had him chasing a chicken. What other coach would have their athlete chase a chicken to create speed? We need nasty speed. That thing.
That grizzled coach, that old like.
And then there's a scene, I think in Rocky, the very first one, where the fight with Apollo, where Rocky goes down. They're both just beaten to hell, and you can see Mickey go like, he cares so much for Rocky. He's like, stay down, don't get back up. And then Rocky gets back up. But that moment, I think, is one of the most underrated sort of Mickey Rocky moments. But I am a big fan of Mickey and the way Burgess Meredith played that character. And he will always be the original kind of Yoda-like character.
Coach. So that's a good one.
Now the question is, where do I go with my fifth one? And I feel like I'm in the 7th round of the NFL draft. And there are a lot of players on the board that can maybe come in and help you, but maybe there's one that's like, I think this one has a lot of potential. Going to be a bit of a project, but has a lot of potential. So I'm going to do it. The hell with it. This teacher showed up.
You got to make yourself happy.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Screw the fans.
That's right. You got to be true to myself. But I think people are going to like this one. Only showed up once. Brief appearance, but was an epic appearance, and is one of the most, I think, quoted, has some of the most quoted lines ever as for a teacher.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with the character known as Mr. Garvey from the Key and Peele sketch of the substitute teacher. This man single-handedly ruined the name Aaron for the rest of time. It is now Aaron.
Aaron Balake.
Balake. Jay Queller. Like, that skit was hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
And
D-Nice.
Then the way he's breaking the clipboard, he's just trying to lay down the lies. Like, I taught in the inner city for 14 years. So you try to put one on me. You want to go to war, Balake? We'll go to war. Get your down at Shag Hennessy's office.
Insubordinate and
churlish. So I know there are stronger picks that have a bigger presence. But that one, to me, you want to talk about doing the most with your 5 minutes of fame.
Yeah.
Like, you can't say, anytime, like even me as a Rams fan, anytime I see Aaron Donald, it's Aaron Donald, Aaron Rodgers, you got to say Aaron. It's just
chicanerous, deceitful.
The second one, when they brought him back, so I have to correct. He came back again.
Yeah.
Wasn't as good as the first one.
The first one was phenomenal.
Now, allegedly, they were going to make a movie based on that character. Like, that's how successful that character was. I don't know where that is.
Jake Quillen.
Keegan-Michael Key played that character, and it was just one of the best skits of all time. So a
lot of it was improvised too. Yeah. When he's like throwing all those insubordinate
son of a cracks the clipboard.
Insubordinate and churlish was an improv.
Because who hasn't had a substitute teacher that's like tried to come in and just be like, I am not taking any crap from you kids at all, period.
100%.
Fear of God in you. So I'm going to end up, I'm ending my draft with Mr. Garrison.
Yeah.
Not Mr. Garrison, sorry, Mr. Garvey. I've already had Mr. Garrison. So Brent, to you for your fifth and final pick.
So I'm gonna go on the offensive here a little bit and call out your pick. As much as I love me some Key and Peele. I love me some Key and Peele, but feel like you didn't do your research. That character is kind of based off of a Mad TV sketch from the same actor when he did Coach Hines. So you're sort of taking the second tier ripoff.
Then you're allowed to take the first tier and see how you do.
It would be like taking a character from Willow instead of Lord of the Rings. You'd be like,
there is we all know taking it. Don't you dare curse Matt Mardigan.
I love Willow.
Don't you dare.
Willow is like all time.
That's
like. So anyway, just for those of you at home, go look up Coach Hines.
Yep.
And go look up
that is great.
Whatever one you
watch
made.
Mad TV.
That's great Mad TV knowledge.
That is, that's a solid pull from Pikowski there.
So,
this is the second straight week now I've been trash talked by the guest. I'm just going to throw that out there.
It is a good pick though. I like it. It's a bit of little left field. I've got Miss Frizzle. I've got another cartoon character here, but I don't think I need another. I don't think I need another cartoon character, so I'm not going to go with that one.
Fictional too.
Mm-hmm. I'm all
fictional. Yeah, I know. No. Yeah, are you all fictional, Sean?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I've got a coach. I've got a real live coach, but like I like Tommy's. That was a smooth pick, a little predictable, but a good pick, and that kind of it's sort of like the Dumbledore pick. It sort of vetoes any other real life sporting coach because that's such a well known one that I go. So now I'm right now I'm torn. I'm doing some really quick research. This is why I'm stalling.
This is why he's stalling. I was like Brent stalling. He throwing a couple jabs, a little defensive, to keep some distance.
Mr. Garvey put him on edge. He got focused on my pick.
So I'm doing some quick research because I've got a coach, a fictional sporting coach. That I have, but I'm wanting to make sure that I don't miss out on a slightly better one. And I think the only fictional sporting coach we have right now is Rocky's coach, right?
Yeah, Mickey.
Yeah, Mickey. So yeah, I'm gonna go with. Yeah, see, there's a few here that to me are better picks, but they're not going to be as well known. So I got to go with a little more well known, which still rings true. And I'm going to go with Coach Carter.
Oh yeah,
nice. All right.
Yeah. So yeah, not thunderous applause from the gallery, but that's cute. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Coach Carter, great movie. Obviously, just like quintessential coach.
Samuel L.
Great sporting coach. Yeah, Samuel L. Yeah. I think, and obviously the movie's named after him, and it's based on a real story too.
Well, there you go.
In California too. Richmond High School.
So yeah, there we go. That's my fifth pick.
That's a solid way to finish up.
All right. I think so. Got a good mix there.
Oh yeah. So all right, I get to close this out. Missed. It's funny. This is, in the draft, the last one taken is always Mr. or Mrs. Irrelevant.
Yeah, but you do really well at getting good value with your final pick.
I'm going abstract here.
Ooh.
I'm going meta.
Ooh.
Because I'm going to pick the greatest teacher of all.
Okay.
Failure.
Oh no.
You picked a concept?
That's right.
Done before?
Oh, man.
Failure is the greatest teacher of all.
Oh, man.
Yep.
Okay.
Your English teacher out there is so proud of you. You're like,
oh, that's nice, Tommy. Good job.
See, you're playing 3D chess. I'm playing 4D chess.
Yeah, you're going back into. You're like at the end of Interstellar, where you're pushing books off the shelf to communicate with us.
Oh yeah. Yep. It was between that, and I can talk about other ones. I was between that and experience, but I think failure is a greater teacher.
Yeah.
It's the big.
I'll accept that.
Yep.
I just want to know what image you're going to use for failure.
Probably an overhead squat from the 2013 Canada West Regional.
Oh,
I literally was going to say that. I was about to use my own. I'm like, please don't use any pictures of me failing a overhead squat. I was close to saying it.
That escalated quickly.
That's funny. We've all taken shots.
Oh, that was the only shot I took this week.
The other ones that I had in my canister here was I was thinking of doing either Miss Honey or Principal Trunchbull from Matilda.
Yep. Miss Honey would have been a good one.
Yeah. And then so the coaches, I was thinking from Cool Runnings.
Oh yeah.
Irv.
John
Candy's character. Yeah.
But again, like that's a little too obscure. The Simpsons, Miss Kerboffle.
Yep.
Right, like that, and I had her. Yeah, that was kind of in there. So the one, the real. So I was thinking of doing like Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Ooh,
I know,
Neil
right?
deGrasse Tyson.
He's a teacher. I mean, he does give lectures. He teaches.
What about Bill Nye the Science
I had
Guy?
him on my list.
Oh, it's funny. I thought of him like way at the beginning, right when we're like I started to scramble, and then I didn't write it down. But the actual coach that I wanted to put in was John Wooden. Much stronger pick than Phil Jackson. But
That is not
it was
your book.
Yeah.
a little. Nothing against Phil. Sorry, Phil, if you're listening, as I'm sure you are. But yeah, I mean, John Wooden had a lot of influence on me. Because one of the coaches I had in high school, did a lot of we did the pyramid of self-actualization, which is a John Wooden thing, and a lot of John Wooden quotes and stuff on the walls, and we brought those up a lot. So most winningest coach ever that never talked about winning. So
yeah, my coach, I think it's better than both of yours, would have been Herb Brooks, the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team, whose pregame speech has been immortalized in a movie. Something that neither one of you can say about yours, and I've got the Miracle on Ice picture right up there. So great moments are born of great opportunity.
That would have been such a chalk pick for you.
Exactly. That's why I didn't go there.
I had Chubbs Peterson from Happy Gilmore.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Splinter.
I had Master Splinter.
All right.
It was between him and Mr. Miyagi for my Kung Fu pick. I really wanted Master Splinter, but I couldn't go double Kung Fu. I also had Farmer Fran from The Water Boy, the only coach that could coach without being understood.
Yeah. I had Arlie Ermy, the drill sergeant from Full Metal Jacket.
Oh yeah.
Great character.
Oh man,
military would have been a good. I don't think anyone. Yeah, like getting a good military sergeant or anything like that would have from a movie or in real life. But
General Patton or something like. My grandpa got busted by General Patton.
Yeah, I remember you telling that story.
He was the shortest tenured ever, like E6 or something like that. He got it the night before and had it stripped away the next morning because he went out and partied, and he was carrying his eggs in his helmet home from the mess hall.
Whoops.
And Patton pulls up and goes, "What's your name, soldier?" And he's like, "Wow." He's like, "Soldier, what's your name?" He's like, "Well, excuse me, who the hell are you?" He said the General Patton and got busted. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Crazy.
Yeah. I had Reg Dunlop, player coach from Slapshot.
Yep.
The Charleston Chiefs, I should say. And then I had Vince Lombardi, Mr. Cotter.
Yeah.
Cotter.
That's a good one.
Yeah. And that Buttermaker from the Bad News Bears. The original, the Walter Matthau one.
The Walter Matthau
imitation
for sure.
That was made later.
I did have Mrs. Krabappel. I also had Sean McGuire from Good Will Hunting.
Ooh, yeah.
But that was the setup. I had Miss Othmar from Peanuts.
Yeah. I didn't knew that. I never knew that was her name until I looked that up.
I had Glenn Holland from Mr. Holland's Opus. That was the other music teacher. I Detective John Kimball from Kindergarten Cop.
That was another one.
Oh shit! Nice.
That would have been a good one. Because how many times have you not wanted to yell at raising your children? Shut up!
Fun fact: in Kindergarten Cop, I believe it's Kindergarten Cop. And when he's on the airplane, and he's sitting in the airplane, these two kids kick the seat, and he turns around and is like, "This will be you," and he like snaps the pencil. Those two kids, both of which went to my high school.
Oh wow!
One of which is my friend Kim Reeder and her brother. They were child actors.
Nice.
She was originally cast as Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen's character in Full House. They filmed the pilot with her, then they found them and gave her the boot. So
all right,
a little tie to that. Oh, and Veronica Vaughn from Billy Madison.
Yes, I had that too.
Yep.
Yeah, that would have been a good one as well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here we go. These are the teams. I'll just recap really fast. I had Yoda, Walter White, Mr. Garrison, Mickey, and Mr. Garvey. Brent, Miss Frizzle, Professor X, Albus Dumbledore, Dewey Finn, and Coach Carter, and then Tommy with Mr. Miyagi, Mr. Feeney, John Keating, Phil Jackson, and then Failure.
I've got a mix. I chose Failure because I also had like Confucius, Plato, Aristotle, Socrates, sure. But I thought all of them would appreciate me choosing Failure as the bigger
they
concept.
Looking down on you with smiles on their collective faces. Okay. Brent, thank you so much for doing this. How have you been, man? How's the training going?
Yeah, training's really good. Yeah. I mean, I'm excited for semifinals. Excited to compete again. Excited to, hopefully cash my check to what's the kid?
Punch
my ticket. Punch my ticket. That's the colloquialism we use in this sport. To hopefully make it to I guess that would be my 6th CrossFit Games, if and when.
Yeah.
So, I never count my chickens before they hatch because that's just not how I roll. But I'm excited to keep training. Training's been going really good. Yeah, I'm seeing progress in the right areas. Been enjoying it. It's not without its struggles. But success is never a direct path.
Exactly.
Road bumps. I'm on the right trajectory. Yes, there have been road bumps, but the road is definitely leading in the right way. I'm as confident of that as ever. So no, it's been good. It's been good here, and yeah, excited to leave Kelowna eventually. As much as I love it here, I've been, we haven't really, my wife and I haven't left in basically since Wadapalooza in 2020, like February 2020. I think we've left like once. So just lockdown stuff. So hopefully, give me a good reason to go to the States to compete, and yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, well, we look forward to seeing you compete in person, and I'm sure you'll do well as you did here with minimal prep.
Yeah.
So nice job, man. I think you're going to get.
Thank you. Yeah,
I'll
be much more prepared for the semifinals. I'll know how things work. We have to bring our own shoes.
Yeah.
I've just completely forgotten how it works. I've been home for 18 months. I don't know how this works.
Where am I supposed to be?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's great.
Man.
All right. Well, listen, man, thank you so much for doing this. And remember, everybody, there is no competition for Gillette Invisible Solid Deodorant when it comes to 72-hour sweat protection and non-irritant formula. The quarterfinals might be over, but tackling busy days in and out of the gym has never been easier. So try it for yourself. The buy one, get one free stick from your favorite retailer on Gillette deodorant, and you just need to go to our Instagram page to make that happen.
Yep. Click the link at the top of our Instagram bio. Pick your favorite retailer that you want to get it from. Add them to your cart, and you'll get one for free. And you should be able to clip the coupon as well, and good to go.
Yep. Could not be easier. Thank you to Brent for doing this. Thank you guys for listening. Remember, we will have a post up on our Instagram page with all of our picks. You can go and vote there. That's the only place you can vote for the winner of this week's Podium Picks. Famous teachers. Tommy, congratulations to you for getting back into the win column.
Yep.
After last week. That was well deserved. So thanks so much, everybody, for listening. Take care of each other. Be better, and we will talk to you next time.